So I probably owe you all an explanation for all of the late uploads that have been taking place. So my sister is away on vacation, and my parents agreed to look after her 6-month-old baby. But as I said before, mentioned before, the kid is 6 months old, and he's been a little bit of a handful because of it. But I love him though, so I can't really complain. Anyway, Night of the Living Dead is a 1968 independent horror film written and directed by George A. Romero. It stars Duane Jones, Judith O'Dea, Marilyn Eastman, among others. This happened to also be the color version, which meant it was even more graphic since you could actually tell the blood was red. Yeah. Anyway, this review has been a long time coming, so let's get started. The premise of this film centers on a woman named Barbara, played by O'Dea, who takes shelter in an abandoned house after her brother, Johnny, played by Russell Streiner, is attacked in a cemetery after they were visiting their father's grave. While there, she finds another man who has been taking shelter named Ben, played by Jones, and he explains that people everywhere are being attacked by things that look human, but are extremely aggressive and murderous in behavior. And to make things more grim, it is reported via radio report that they have been eating those they kill, and those that are killed are getting up and killing with the rest of them. Eventually, more people are discovered in the house who were also hiding there. Harry and Helen Cooper, played respectively by Carl Hardman and Marilyn Eastman, who have been unable to leave due to their daughter, Karen, played by Kara Shan, being injured. Also, there's a couple named Sam and Judy, played respectively by Keith Wayne and Judith Riley, and together they team up to secure the house from the undead, bloodthirsty killing machines while trying to think of a way to start an abandoned car so they will have a chance to get out. But the odds start to become more and more against them as more zombies come out. This is a pretty decent setup, and the way it plays out is just so gripping given just how realistic it truly feels in some areas. I mean, yeah, they are safe in the house, but soon panic sets in, and some of them eventually start bickering. One of them even starts to have a panic attack. This is a very authentic approach that Romero took with this premise, and it therefore made their situation as a whole feel a lot more frightening. There's also a very somber tone to this entire story, since it builds up a lot of these characters to such a way that you want them to survive, but become more doubtful of their survival, as their chances of it get slimmer and slimmer. But I guess when it comes to the undead, they don't care how much you love those closest to you. You're just dinner walking on two legs to them. I also like how there is not an official explanation for what is going on, just a theory that a fragment from an exploding space probe carrying radiation that crashed to Earth somehow wired the brains of the dead to get the bodies moving again. We have no idea why this is happening, and it only makes the situation more overwhelming since there is no way to stop it if we have no idea what is going on, or if we would be able to even do anything if we did find out. I give Promise an A+. This played out impressively. Next is acting. Two of the best performances in this, in my personal opinion, is that of Duane Jones and Judith O'Dea. They are in a very scary situation, and their performances more than demonstrate that. Duane Jones is trying his best to keep his clear head, but you can tell he wants more than anything for the two of them, for them all to get to a safer place. Well, maybe not so much Harry, but I cannot say I blame him. Which makes his determination to get out so much more genuine. And the sheer terror O'Dea shows is also very realistic. I mean, she doesn't even talk for a while due to the shit she has experienced. I mean, she had to see her brother be killed in a very gruesome way. And her expression alone is enough to show just how frightened she actually is. And as mentioned before, she has a fucking panic attack. There's a moment where she recites how this all happened, and she can barely get through it without breaking down into hysterics. And her emotion as she tearfully explains what happened to her brother feels so real. Carl Hardman also does a great job of making you extremely livid with this character. Doesn't help that he has to assume he's always right, despite it being best for his survival to listen to Ben and the others, and just ends up putting his wife and injured daughter in a more vulnerable position because of it. I give acting an A. Such superb performances. Next is special effects. The special effects, especially considering this came out in 1968, were surprisingly superb. I thought they wouldn't be able to get away with much considering the time, but they did, and some of it looked so real that I do admit it was somewhat gross to look at. And the graphic nature of it all only demonstrated just how bloody and ruthless these zombies were, and only gave me more reason to fear them. I give special effects an A+. I was impressed with how surprisingly well they turned out. Next to cinematography. Cinematography was nothing too special. Had some pretty nice shots at the cemetery, and the first shot was quite impressive. The first shot that opens the film is quite impressive. Also, a really good shot of Barbara in a music box that she finds. Although there were moments where it actually added to the eerie atmosphere of the film, since there were a lot of shadowy shots and scenes filmed in complete darkness where the corpses would be lumbering forward slowly but surely inching closer to the house. I give cinematography a B. Not bad, and it did add to the tone at some parts. Finally, directing. George A. Romero does a fantastic job of building these characters up so that gives you a reason to want to see them survive. It makes when some of them start to fall a lot more effective. Although there was one really dumb scene involving the car and a fire that frustrated me so much I nearly screamed at my TV, especially since it was something that could have been avoided very easily. Other than that, he also makes you feel the vulnerability of these characters by not only show just how outnumbered they are, but also how with any chance of them getting away just gets slimmer and slimmer. And the atmosphere, as mentioned before, also added to the terror. I give directing an A. Kudos to Romero, and rest in peace. Overall, Night of the Living Dead is a fantastic zombie tale that will have you on the edge of your seat as you watch with anticipation and hope to see these characters get out alive. It has some amazing special effects and some amazing, awesome performances, and was just such an impressive film all around. I give Night of the Living Dead an A. It played out tremendously. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and sub for more content.